World Supercross might be on life support. Hey everybody, Walter Wanderers, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So World Supercross, welcome to the swimming pool. Who's ready to do a little moto whistleblowing as we examine the good, the bad, and maybe even a little bit of the ugly?
No, Walty, not the ugly. Only report on rainbows and sunshine.
No. Somebody's got to read between the lines and look between the ruts. And I'm sorry to say this, man. World Supercross. We got to look between the ruts with you. I mean, the thing is, you guys, I was really cheering for World Supercross when they announced this new series. It was right, during the pandemic, when the pandemic was enforcing all these protocols on the riders and empty stadiums. And it was just weak sauce for me. It was just super weak sauce. So when I saw the announcement of World Supercross with chicks and pyro, they hyped it up to really look like what I remember Supercross being back when I worked in the industry, when intermission shows were freestyle, not watered down electric bike, mini bike stuff, just trying to sell. It was actually more of an entertainment component than just trying to sell stuff to us. And that's really what it's come down to now. Football, playoffs, referees, guests in the coming to the races. The intermissions are just KTM's, the KTM challenge. It's really just to groom little soldiers to come up on electric bikes and get you to buy them. It used to be way more entertaining, and that's when the sport was more niche-y and more core and hardcore. And I understand it, the growth, and we need to do this and grow the sport. But unfortunately, sometimes you're compromising the core values of the sport to push an agenda, and that's kind of what I'm seeing out of the industry today. And I think the chickens will come to roost on this thing. I just don't see this thing really being able to accomplish what they're hoping it's going to accomplish, other than the fact eventually we will live in a watered down, woke electric bike environment. I mean, it's really looking like that's the way it's headed. So these World Supercross and other, I don't know, if we see that out of the main, American Supercross, eventually we will get more of these people trying to come along and give us what we really want. And I really saw that with World Supercross going into this. I was really, really cheering for them when they had Ralph and Jeff come back. I think they were unceremoniously ushered out, possibly by the hand of Ricky, or at least influenced by that. They had been in, the announcers, the voice of Supercross for so many years that, they kind of grew on us and we expected them to be there. It's just really the fabric of the industry has really changed. But what I just saw out of World Supercross was really a big letdown for me. First of all, I mean, through and through, really. First of all, you only have two really big name riders with Kenny and Eli, and it's really an exhibition race, and the rest of the riders, they're just way outgunned in terms of talent. Savachi's been in there mixing it up, and Vince Freeze can get a start, but other than that, it's just, and this last race, it was in Abu Dhabi or whatever in the Middle East, and it was like an arena cross track. You're forcing the biggest names in motocross, millionaires, the highest paid athletes in the world in this genre, to go race arena cross. And there was just no passing. There was no, that's already the challenge, even with open air football stadiums. A lot of these tracks are too cookie cutter and tight, and the riders are afraid to complain because they're being paid big bucks to come promote this series, so they can't really complain. Their hands are tied. You've been paid, so it's just really kind of challenging. They rarely showed the stadium, the actual seats of the stadium. My guess is because it was at 50% capacity at best. But the start, what were we thinking when they built the start? You had Ralph Shaheen, right? All right, the gate's about to drop. Here goes the gate still. Let her rip. And so, that was it. The first turn was just nothing. Put it inside of the arena, or at least give them one long start straight. Why did they make this start so small? It was like the weakest start. Arena cross had longer starts than this World Supercross race. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, World Supercross, we're in trouble. We're basically putting the paddles on you on life support here pretty quick. This is not going good. First of all, you're probably better off leaving that money you spent for Kenny and Eli. Get more Savachi caliber riders, or some of these other guys that actually we have more battles for the lead. Because for us, yeah, sure, we want to see the good, the best talent in the world race. We want to see Eli. I'm sure you want to showcase them around the world. I get it. But at the end of the day, this is racing. It's a competition. If there's no competition there, that's the challenge. Different video. Stay tuned with Jet Lawrence. If no one's going to challenge him, we're not interested. We're not interested. So what I'm seeing now is you paid for big name riders to fill seats. It's not working. Now you're slamming them in these small arenas somewhere in the Middle East, off in the desert somewhere. It's not working. Ralph and Jeff, they're doing the best they can to hype it up. And it's nice to feel and hear the nostalgia that I remembered from back in the day. Back in the day! Loved back in the day. That's when Moto was hardcore, hard hitting, and they were part of that. Unfortunately, it's going a different direction. Now, again, maybe I'm the one that's wrong. There's only a few channels out here blowing the lid off of this stuff, and it's the ones that aren't in the industry. You got like the Cooksies, you got the Walties. I don't really know if there's any other channels out there really blowing apart and calling, pulling the covers on the industry and just calling it the way we see it. There's got to be a flip side. Like I said, I will give credit where credit's due. I love this sport. It's given me a ton. I grew up racing. My dad owned a local dealership when I was a kid. I went to work for one of the most popular teams in the paddock. We were around for over 10 years, the longest running privateer team in the history of the sport. Met a lot of good people. Dealt with a lot of parts managers of shops all around the world, really. And I just love it. And I've dealt with a lot of the people that helped the sport get to where it's at now are still there. But we have now Wall Street conglomerates basically running this thing. People that don't know how to ride running our sport. And that's the part I really kind of have a little bit of an issue with. But like I said, World Supercross, this might be it for you guys. I don't know if you're coming back. If you do come back again and run this series, I hope some things change. You're going to have to get bigger and better tracks, and you're going to have to get more not more high caliber riders, more riders that can actually provide a show. I would rather see a lesser rider, more riders evenly matched that are going to provide bar banging, high flying, high octane show. And not to say that we didn't have a little bit of drama in that, but the track was so tight, with Eli and Kenny being the only dudes there that really, other than Savachi, was in the mix. But, they were just, those bikes are just too big, too powerful. Even the 250s in the super final or whatever it was called were smoking a bunch of the 450s. It was not a good look. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy that wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. World Supercross, welcome to the swimming pool. You guys are now you're in the deep end, my friends, and we're cheering for you. We're cheering for you. My advice is this: make sure you bring this to stadiums that are bigger, that can duplicate what America is doing, and bring more riders that actually have a closer level of experience rather than a couple guys that are head and shoulders above the rest. In the meantime, Walty will have to be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with the links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.